Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my 2025 TBR. I'm so excited to show y'all what I plan on reading this year. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Vanessa and this is Healing with Vanessa. So I guess I'd start off with the books I'm currently reading. Currently in the middle of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and Kingdom of Ash, which is part of the Throne of Glass series. It is the last book of the series if you didn't know, and I'm about 50% done with this one and only about 10% through The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm feeling like Addie LaRue is starting off really slow and a little bit repetitive, but I've heard like so many people talk about this book. This one's a fun one for me because I'm doing a buddy read with my bestie Liana. I know she's watching this, so hey girl. But yeah, I'm excited to see like where this book goes and how it really gets super emotional because I've seen people literally sob at this book, so I really want to see if it hits me like that. And this one is just super high stakes fantasy. I'm liking it, but I just feel like 500 pages in and I feel like now it's getting going. I'm a little bit frustrated with the series. I just feel like I've been waiting and waiting for all of this to happen, like what's gonna happen, and I feel like there's a lot of filler chapters. I have absolutely loved this series, but I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star series for me. I think it's gonna be like a 4.5, 4-star series, but we'll see after I finish this book about how I feel. I thought I'd just go through my little stack right here. Another book I really want to read this year is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Now this one I know is like an American classic. It's about a young girl's coming of age at the turn of the 20th century. I don't know much else about it, but I know this book is very loved, and this cover, it does something to my brain. It literally does. Like, it's the simplicity of it, the New York feel to it, and ever since visiting New York last year, I've just had this urge to like learn more about the city and the culture and like the history of it. And so I think this is a great book to read. And also in 2025, I wanted to read like a couple more classics like Jane Austen and something like this. So I cannot wait to read this literary masterpiece and see what I feel about it. So if any of you watch Haley Pham, love her, but she's a little bit particular about spice in books. She actually hates it. To each their own, whatever. Everybody has their own book taste, but I just found that really funny because girl, she likes spice in books, okay? Sue me. Not too much. Like, she had done her 2024 book wrap up and said that this book was practically erotica, and I was like, girl, erotica? I need to see for myself, and I've been wanting to read this author's work anyways because she always includes like science and, you know, girls in STEM, which I absolutely am a sucker for. I myself work in STEM, and that book is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. The cover, I'm gonna admit, it does look a little spicy, okay? And I'm not much of a romance reader because I get tired of the happy ending, like full circle. I just think it gets a little bit predictable and old sometimes, but the girl in this book is a biotech engineer. Her career is going great. It's everything she's ever wanted. Her life is turning out. It says, her world is stable, pleasant, and hard fought until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive frontman threatened to bring it all crumbling down. So it seems like a man is trying to ruin it. I don't know, we'll see. And I'm assuming that they end up having a situationship. So we'll see how spicy this book is and if it actually is erotica. I'll probably make a video on it. Some of these books my mom has gotten me, and so of course I want to read them. She got this at Barnes & Noble as one of those like special $5 books that you get if you purchase something, and it's called The Girls I've Been Before. This one says 3 teens, 2 bank robbers, 1 way out. I don't know, I feel like this would just be like a good book to read by the pool. We'll see. Another book I'd like to read in 2025 is We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker. I think that's how you say it. This book seems like on family and confronting your past, and the back of the book is a little bit vague in my opinion. It has great reviews. Author of Where the Crawdads Sing really liked this book, and I did love that book as well. James Patterson has an excerpt on here, so I feel like this is kind of a book that hasn't been talked about, and I'm interested to see new author's work and what it's about. Next is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. That man right there. So we all have probably heard of this. I literally don't know anything about it, but it is like a psychological thriller type of book. It's a murder mystery, family saga, love story, plus financial intrigue, all into one novel. I know there's books that come after this as well, so I don't know. I just really want to branch out in my reading taste this year, and I think this would be an interesting pick. And I got this at a used bookstore for $5. We love a book deal. My little guy wanted to say hello to the video, but probably not for long. Do you want to stay in the video? You're sitting so nicely. Very distinguished gentleman. Another book my mom got me last year was Cold Mountain by Charles Fraser. This is also like a classic. This is the 20th anniversary edition, so it's definitely like an older book. Oh, it was published in 1997. It stood at the top of the New York Times best-selling list for 61 weeks. It won a bunch of awards. It's about the tale of a soldier's perilous journey back to his beloved at the end of the Civil War. And I guess it has been made into a movie, including Nicole Kidman. Love her. Some of the reviews on the back say it's hauntingly beautiful. A page turner that attains the status of literature. I need to read that. Again, wanting to read more classics this year, and I love historical fiction because it just teaches me it's just great to like remind yourself of history. And I gave the example in my last video of The Great Winds by Kristen Hanna. I learned so much about the Dust Bowl, and so I love historical fiction. It's one of my favorite genres. Another light little book that I'd like to pick up this year is The Bookshop in the Corner by Jenny Colgan. That's our girl Jenny. It's about this woman who's a literary matchmaker and that she is an expert at pairing a reader with the perfect book. And that's her job as well, apparently. She was a librarian in a hectic city, but now the job she loves is no more. So she moves away into like a small town. She buys a van and transforms it into a mobile bookshop that she drives from neighborhood, changing one life after another with the power of storytelling. I thought this would be like a cute little cozy read, just when I'm not feeling like a hard book, you know what I mean? Where you have to use a lot of brain power. I love at night just literally laying in bed and reading just something really easy. I thought that'd be cute. Other book I'd like to read is Edge of Collapse by Kayla Stone. This one is a winter type thriller. I guess the world suddenly goes without power, transportation, phones, and the world just goes into chaos except for this 26-year-old girl. It's the best day of her life. For the last 5 years, she was held captive by a sadistic psychopath until the EMP releases the lock of her prison. So then she emerges into this like wintry landscape and only has like the clothes on her back to survive. I guess she meets this other guy, a soldier, which he also lost everything during this chaos. I guess the psychopath that was holding that girl hostage is still trying to hunt her down. So I think this is a good thriller to pick up. It looks super easy, big text, and it has a ton of great reviews. And I haven't heard much about this like online, so I thought that'd be fun. All right, but this next book might literally send me into a spiral, but that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Another book that I've seen people literally sob online, just they become so attached to these characters. It's a historical fiction set in World War II about these two women. It's about the story of two sisters separated by years and experience, by ideas, passion, and circumstance, each embarking on their own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. It just celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. I feel like I'm gonna absolutely eat this up in a good and sad way. Another book I'd like to read by her this year is The Great Alone. Funny story, my mom and I both got this for each other for Christmas without even talking about it, so we're definitely gonna have a book club together reading this book. This one's another historical fiction set in Alaska in the 1970s. It's about this family, they're living alone off-grid. The dad comes home from the Vietnam War and he's like a changed man. He's very impulsive, not making the best decisions, dealing with PTSD, and moves his family off-grid to Alaska. The wife follows him, and they have a daughter, a 13-year-old daughter caught in the riptide of her parents' passionate, stormy relationship. And they form this community in Alaska, and it pretty much says that the mom and the daughter are left to figure out how to live on their own. So I wonder what happens to the dad, and another women's fiction type story. So one of my friends told me this is great. I've heard nothing but great things about these two books. And can we just appreciate how beautiful the covers are? The way they have the raised road right there. Oh my gosh. That's so pretty. Another classic I'd love to get to this year is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I think I read this as a kid because I think it is a children's book or YA or something. I just feel like it's a classic little girl women's story that I want to remember and relive. And I got this special edition at Barnes last year, and I just think it is so pretty, and it's just everything I love in a cover, just like the locket, the details, the pages. In the back of it, it says, The secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles. The text is so beautiful. I cannot wait to get to this. I feel like it'd be a perfect little spring read. So, surprise, surprise, another historical fiction, The Personal Librarian by Marie Benedict. I got this at a used bookstore for $6. I've seen this circulate Goodreads quite a bit, and I'm realizing that I really like books with strong women main characters with a touch of history and just them figuring out the power that they have, because I feel like that's where I'm at in my life. I feel like I'm gonna be in my late 20s this year. Just crazy. And reading about these strong, intelligent, powerful women is so inspiring, and it just inspires me to keep working after my dreams. So it's actually the story of J.P. Morgan's personal librarian, Bella DaCosta Green, the Black American woman who was forced to hide her true identity and pass as white to leave a lasting legacy that enriched our nation. Sounds like an incredible story, and anything with like a librarian in books is also just cozy, so I'm really excited for that book, if I haven't said that already. Okay, I'm super excited for this next one. It is Beautiful Ugly by my girl Alice Feeney. I love my girl Alice. She is truly the queen of twists and turns. I saw Sarah Caroli had gone to like the author meet and greet for this book and got a signed copy, and she also loves Alice Feeney, and she did a reading vlog on it. She said she wasn't loving the male main character because he just wasn't reacting like super, I don't know, it just wasn't, the way he would react to situations was really weird. So I'm kind of curious to see how that is, but she said she did not guess the ending. She was tricked. Girl Alice knows how to trick us girls. And I love a book that can get me at the end, for real. I want to close the book and be like, next book is You Like It Darker by Stephen King. One thing about me is I love to say which books I got at a used bookstore because I'm almost like, I'm proud of it. I don't know. So I got this one at a used bookstore for $11, which it was right when it came out. So it was a little bit higher, but it's a really pretty book, and I just wanted to dabble in a little bit more of Stephen King's work. He is such a prominent author. I've read Fairy Tale by Stephen King, and that was his first try at writing fantasy, and I thought the first half of this book, he left no crumbs. The second half really fell off, but it's not really what he's known for. He's known for horror, thriller type books, mystery. And so it's a series of different scary, weird short stories. And I was supposed to read this last year. I never got to it because Throne of Glass has consumed my life. And I like the back of it, how it says, "You like it darker, so do I." So I'm worried it's gonna be a little bit too dark for me. We're gonna see. I just really wanna, I think it's time for me to try something a little bit different. So that'll be good. I have 3 left, so these 2 books I received from my friend Sarah. These were some of her favorite books of all time, and I'm really excited to get to them. She said this one is kind of that one where you don't judge a book by its cover, because I'm not gonna lie, this cover it's not giving anything. What is this about? But I believe her, she reads great books. And the fact that this one is set in Maine, I love Maine. I wanna move there. Summer, not the winter. It's about this girl that apparently went through something traumatic, and she had survived but her dad didn't. And then she meets a guy named Archer, and he doesn't communicate with anyone through speech. He communicates through hand motions. It says there's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the ways his hands communicate with me. But this town is mirrored in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive center of it all. So a touch of romance, a touch of mystery. I'm here for it. And then King of Wrath. It's about this billionaire guy who thrives on control. He doesn't plan to marry, he's living the bachelor life, and he gets blackmailed and is forced to marry this woman. He doesn't truly love her, he's not feeling it, and then apparently he can't let her go. Rich people drama, a little bit of spice, or gaining feelings for each other, so I can't wait to read this. Thank you, Sarah, for the book rec. And the last book that I have on my physical TBR for this year is Andromeda by Therese Bowman. I have not heard of this author, and it was just a little book of the month pick. Super thin, and it just looks like the words are huge. It looks like a really easy, quick read. It's about this woman who starts as an intern at this publishing company, and you know, she's growing her career there, and her supervisor is like this highly regarded publishing guy in the industry. And I guess over time their relationship starts to grow, and I guess it's more than just, you know, like a workplace romance. The description says her writing style is like very poetic, and the author explores how work bleeds into our personal lives and the consequences of leaving behind old ways of doing business. So seems interesting enough. And I thought it was interesting how the back of the book, if you can see, has constellations, so that's cute. I thought I'd include a few nonfiction books that I have and I'd like to get to in 2025. So this one is called Reclaiming Body Trust. Tiger, you're so cute, little guy. He wants to be in the video. Never mind. Where was I? Reclaiming Body Trust. I've really been into like energy type healing books. My autoimmune disease, just finding other holistic ways outside of my medications to heal my body and mind. This review on the back says, Reclaiming Body Trust is a breath of fresh air, an inclusive, self-aware, comprehensive guide out of the endless cycle of shame and body blame. Whether you are new to liberatory work or deep into unraveling your relationship with bigotry and all varieties of body terrorism, this book will support you on your healing journey. And we know I'm on my healing journey. I got this at one of the oldest bookstores in Bar Harbor, Maine, which is where the book Happy Place was set. I talked about that in my last video. And this book just really popped out to me. I thought the cover was beautiful. It says holistic and powerful framework for liberating our bodies and ourselves. So that could be a fun video series where I just kind of go chapter to chapter and see like what I'm getting out of this book and, you know, let y'all know what it's got to say. And just two little books that I've slowly been going through the past year, and this one is The Book of Healing and The Right Words. They're just two little poetry books, and some days I just flip to a random page and read a poem, and a lot of them really hit hard and they can be very healing at times. So I mean, I'd hope so. It says The Book of Healing. I love how the back of it says an end does not have to be the end. I must turn the page and start anew. I also have A Cafe on the Edge of the World. Wherever you go, there you are. This is a book my therapist recommended. He said that it taught him so much about meditation. And look at like the pages, they're so interesting. I don't know. I thought one of my goals for 2025 is to get into meditation because it can be very healing for your mind, and I deal with a lot of anxiety. So I think this would be a great book to definitely get to this year. My best friend's Reed and Cameron got me this Ikigai book from Japan. It's the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. It says Ikigai urges individuals to simplify their lives by pursuing what sparks joy for them, much in the same way that the life-changing magic of tidying up emphasizes choosing what we want to keep and not what we want to get rid of. Ikigai demonstrates that aging could be an opportunity to keep working, keep smiling, keep active, and keep being social. That hits home to me because I'm really pursuing YouTube. It's keeping me busy and it's improving my mental health, and this book can help me think of other ways that can help me live a happier life. To get a book from Japan is just, wow. I think I cried. The other book I got in Bar Harbor, Maine was Goblin Mode. I just kind of picked this one up. Sometimes I feel like a goblin and you need to embrace your inner goblin. That's what it says on the back of the book, and that one really spoke to me. And the last one I have is Energy Medicine. It looks like a little textbook, but I actually got this in New York City at the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. This one really stood out to me because it's about balancing your body's energies for optimal health, joy, and vitality. And again, I'm just looking for more holistic ways to heal my body. I really don't know much about what energy medicine is, and I'm really intrigued by this, and the cover is also so beautiful. One of the authors is a clinical psychologist from Johns Hopkins University. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be different, and I think I'll probably make a video series on this one as well. And that's it for today's video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the books I plan on reading. Come here, come here, come here. Are you okay? You don't wanna be in the video? Okay. I hope you enjoyed learning about the books I plan on reading in 2025, and I can't wait to give my reviews on them. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these or plan to read them, and let me know what your thoughts were. See you soon.